This report is made to present important information about the macroeconomic balance with full employment, knowing what is the about and how it can help us on the macroeconomic issues in terms of the well-being of each who that I had worked in the country. This will helps is to know how employment is going or what we can do to maintain that balance. Seeing what so with a hope is to generate profits and income for this reason. Knowing about the microeconomic balance is very important for everyone. Long-run macroeconomic equilibrium occurs when real GDP equals GDP at full employment. That is when the economy is on its long-run aggregate slope curve. There are two types of balances, below and above. That full below full employment is a macroeconomic equilibrium in which potential output plus actual output is carried the receipt get an outflow. Full employment is the opposite and the inflation cut.
A full employment equilibrium occurs when equilibrium real GDP equals a potential GDP. In this case, IS intersections ID and the potential GDP at the same equilibrium point. A receptionary gap or below full employment equilibrium occurs when real GDP is less than potential GDP, and that brings falling price level. A receptionary gap occurs when the SARS curve and the ID curve intersection on the left of the potential GDP line. An economy that operates above its full employment equilibrium is producing goods and services at a higher rate than its potential or long run average level measured by its GDP. The amount that the current real GDP is greater than the historic average is called inflationary gain, as this accelerates the inflationary pressures in the particular economy. So everything is a harmony, but a very active economic creates more demand for goods and services. This term is used to describe a situation where an economy's short-run real GDP is lower than its long-run potential GDP. In this case, the difference between the two levels of GDP is referred to as a recessionary gap. Economies with below full employment equilibrium run with an employment shortfall are usually at the risk of running to a recession.
The long run for employment equilibrium occurs when the aggregate demand curve intersects the short run aggregate supply curve at a point on the long aggregate supply curve. Nice intersection occurs at the point in the long run aggregate supply curve. It is characterized by the following factors: capital and labor are fully utilized and everyone in the economy employed. Finally, in the long run, potential GDP equilibrium GDP or equal.
The main critics is that he understands the great importance of the scarcity of resources to explain certain economic crises. For example, if the price of rice, there are resources to produce. Therefore, companies have to reduce costs and low works. On the hand, indicates that the objections of the model are the often expectations about future in equilibrium in level employment. The questions there are is as to willful employment to is not occur, since points how full employment occurs when demand is equal a supply of labor, which means that it in perfect equilibrium. However, out of the active, there are certain people who remain unemployed even when this equilibrium exists, which ignore friction unemployment.
The full employment equilibrium macroeconomic model is a theoretical approach to set to achieve an economy in which everyone who wants to work can find employment. This model is based on the premise that here in an optimal production level at which the economy operates at full capacity, resulting in the full employment of available resources.
In conclusion, an equilibrium and full employment sustainable economic growth can be achieved when a productive capacity of an economy is fully utilized. At full employment, all available resources such as labor and capital are used efficiently, contributing to steady increase in output and national income.